Today, PGL announced the Adaptive Broadcast HUD, which is going to be used in the minors, the major qualifier, as well as the major itself. Now, this is a custom HUD that PGL has built specifically for their broadcasts for the major, and I just kind of wanted to give you a chance to watch some of the gameplay that they released of it being used, as well as just some of my opinions and ideas, as well as leave your comments down below on what you guys think. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is, you can see on the right and left hand sides, they've now switched all of the information regarding the players. They've pushed that down to the bottom corners. So the individual players, and you can notice next to Angel and Fallen's name, they have a little icon which indicates that they're the IGL of the team. There's a little camera icon next to Dead Fox right now that indicates that he's the player that we're watching. You have all of the individual money, how many headshots they have, I believe is what that would indicate, as well as Dead Fox is holding the bomb right now, which players are dead, which players are alive, health, all that kind of general information that you're used to seeing. All they've done is push down to the side. As a result, they can now on the right hand side of the screen indicate and show other view angles. So let's say like this view right here with Taco flanking, they'd be able to show that on the side while spectating coldzera or spectating Fox or showing the crowd. So it allows them a little bit more room to show some stuff in the broadcasting. What I really like about these with the kill feed is it fades in, which is really nice. I think CSGO, a lot of stuff happens, it just happens. There's no grace period to come into it. So a lot of that fading, a lot of that smoothness adds to the professionalism of the game and of this kind of HUD, as well as that SK wins the round coming up here. And then basically we'll just talk about some of the information that appears in the middle of the screen. Instead of having the health and the armor and the ammo appear on the right and left hand sides, which are now taken over by the players, they now have it put into the middle, as well as a picture, what team they're on, what nades they have, and all that kind of information. As well as you can see there's team money now. I'll talk about team money in a minute here because I don't really think that that's useful whatsoever, like a stat to show. But I kind of like everything else about this middle section. I think maybe what they'd want to do is maybe just bring it up a little bit. Maybe not as high up as the previous one was, because that had a lot of blank space, but just bring it up a little bit so that way if I'm looking at the crosshair, which is where my main focus is going to be, I can still look at that information without actually having to move my eyes at all. So I can just constantly keep seeing that information. And it may be perfect. It may just be having to get used to seeing it this way and getting comfortable with it, as most people are going to have to. But I think maybe just moving it up could solve those issues without changing it too much. But I do like the positioning of it overall. I just think that maybe move it up. I don't know. It's not final. This is a beta. They said they're probably going to change the font because the font is kind of ugly. If it's too bubbly for CSGO. But overall, I actually really do like the HUD. I can't wait to see it being used and the changes that they make to it. Maybe include another stat like ADR as well, because ADR is such a talked about stat right now that I think that we should have it somewhere just available on the scoreboard at all times. Or not at all times, but at the beginning of a round when it shows the other information, something. I'm not quite sure how we actually want to go about doing that. But I want to know your guys' opinions. What do you think of this new HUD? Are you going to like it? What do you think can be changed about it? What do you like? What don't you like about it? Do you like the old CSGO HUD better? Just let me know what you think, because I'm actually very curious, and I'm sure PGL is very curious to be searching through videos regarding their new HUD.